Hello, so welcome to another video in this Airbnb Clone Ruby on Rails series. This is part 32, and till this point we have created roughly 10 hours of content, and I believe we will require roughly 10 to 15 hours more, or maybe more. I'm not fully sure, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. So yeah, it's basically it's going to be a long series, and after that I, after this Airbnb clone series, I have few thoughts whether I should shift and create some series on React and then finally combine React and Ruby, or should I continue on my previous work experience, which is I used to be an Android developer. So should I develop Android related videos or explore something new like Go or Rust? So yeah, if you guys, or I can create videos on Stack also. So do let me know if you have any thoughts on this. Maybe explore Kotlin multi-platform because I haven't worked on that yet. So I haven't figured out what I want to do with this YouTube channel, but I'm enjoying what I'm doing till this point. So if you have any suggestions, feel free to let me know. If you want something specific, do let me know. Even if it is outside of this uh, things that I have mentioned, these programming languages or frameworks that I have mentioned. So yeah, let's continue on this. Now, till this point, wait, there is some issue. Inspect. I'm seeing that this might not be aligned with this correctly. Let me check. Okay, it is aligned. Not sure why it was looking like this, but it is aligned correctly. And it looks really good. Great. So we have set up our images, we have set up our title and all. Now let's go beyond that. Let's go to Airbnb. There are a lot of informations which Airbnb handles dynamically, which creates a bit of issue, uh, at least for a project like ours. So let me see. Bhala ho, happiness for all. Okay. This shows that they have translated it. Okay. Number of guests, bedroom, bathroom. Okay. Number of guests, bedroom, bathroom. This India, this country. Okay, so I think it looks like we can set up this portion, which has. Okay, so here it doesn't have any reviews, so no reviews yet. Here they do have reviews, so they have mentioned it like this. They have mentioned it like this. Let's go to some property which has less reviews. Airbnbs are generally good, so it's hard to find a property which is like rated below 3 star. Maybe we can find something here. No. Let's open this one. This one shows this. Okay, so it kind of gets confusing here. No worries, let's start. I'm thinking I might introduce some columns in our property table where we show number of guests, bedroom, bed and bathroom. We might not use it. It might be just static data sort of thing, not in terms of website, but in terms of users, in terms of this property page. We'll see. Let's start with this. I am thinking because we have used headline at top, we'll use name and country. So let's start with that. This is our basic T, right? And it has a lot of margin here, but in our Airbnb we don't see a lot of margin. So let's work on this. Headline part is done, image gallery part is done, product info. So instead of product info, let's write property info and pt10. So there should be something similar for large screens also. Yeah, pt16. Instead of 16, let's write it as 8 and C. I think this is more, it looks much better to me, but I'll remove that and use one simple pt8. you can optimize according to your plan for mobile. And basic T6 is this, and it is this font, this text is a bit smaller than this one, so I'll use classes from our headline h1, go to these, minimize this, and by the way, I would suggest that you watch this particular video because I will make database changes to this. In product property info, instead of h, yeah, let's use h1 here, h2, let's use h2 here, and we can use something like this. Let's refresh. Basic T6, okay, it looks same. Now we can reduce that size to XL, and maybe yeah, looks better. So now let's use this. Let's write our embedded Ruby code here. Add that property dot name, comma, property dot, do we have country? Yes, looks good. Now below that we have something like these, right? And then there is a divider at the end. So what I will do is I will bring this divider. It is, let's go to this text. The 6, yeah. Okay, it's a border, not a divider. Border right, border gray. Is it border? Looks like that only. Let's remove this and see. Yes, it was border only. I don't prefer these things, but I prefer proper sections. Let me think. We'll worry about that later. No worries. So we have added this. Now in this same div, we have a description and all. Okay. In this same div, let's add these details. So for that, we will add guests, bedroom, bed, and bathroom count in our database. It will just be count, nothing more than that for now. If we want to add something in future, we can do that based on the project scope. So for that, Rails G generate migration, add columns to properties. For that I will use guest count, or maybe just guests can be an integer. Let me check my schema. Can be an integer, then bedroom or bedrooms, integer. I'm just thinking how I will use this. Property dot bedrooms doesn't give correct information, so maybe guest count, integer, bedroom count, integer, bed count, integer, finally bathroom count integer. Let's do this. Let's go to our migration table, see how it looks. db migrate, and then there is migration. Add column properties, guest count integer. I'm writing this correct, right? Yes. Properties, bedroom count integer. Properties, bed count integer. Properties, bathroom count integer. And does it have default? It should have default, right? So default 0. By default all these will be 0. Rails db migrate. Done. Let's add some dummy data. So for that we can go to our schema, which is seeds 5, and in that we can add this bedroom count, two to 5. Bed count can be between 4 to 10. What else do we have? Guest count. Guest count can be between 4 to 20. And finally bathroom. It can be between 1 to 5, for example, or 4. We don't need that many bathrooms. Let's try to set it up. Stop our server, clear rails db reset bin/dev. Let's refresh. Is there any problem? No. Looks good. Now we can set this up. We will go to our show.html.erb file, and inside the div I'll add this. I'm just checking one thing. Yeah, so inside div let's add this. We will have to use a span. Let me write it down exactly like this for now. Later on I'll fix this. Okay. And here how does it look? It does require a bit of margin, so margin top 1, and font can be light. Let's refresh. Yeah, looks a bit better. Yes. Let's copy this. And see how it looks. Looks good enough. So let's start. Percent equals to, then I'm just thinking, if property dot first thing is guest count is not equals to 0. In that case, this dot let's not check these, let's make it a bit quicker. At this point I'm just assuming that these won't be nil. If you're not adding those details at the backend, you can basically fix them on the front end. Okay, property guest count followed by text for guests followed by this dot now let's copy this. Bedroom count, and for that we'll use bedroom. I'm using bedrooms directly, but we can use locale to control this international. When we are doing localization, I might create a video of this in this series or later on. In that we can easily control that if the value is 1, we write bedroom, and if it is more than 1, we write bedrooms. Okay, but right now I'm not focused on that. I'll just add a to-do here, and we might do that later on. It's not that hard if you will search. And from here, bed count, and write it as beds, and finally bathroom count, and route it as bathrooms. Let's refresh and see. 10 guest, 4 bedroom, 10 bed, 1 bathroom. Looks good. Let's go to somewhere else. 10 guest, 2 bedroom. 2 bedroom have 7 beds, that's great, and 4 bathrooms. Great. 5 bedroom, 4 beds, 4 bathroom. Looks good. The functionality is implemented. So now let's go to another part, which is host reviews. So we have this format, second one is this one. If you click on this one, it should also open this. Okay, let me write this. To do add checks, check if this is enough for me. It's not the best comment, but I'm keeping it short. If it is 0, I'll remove that value. For example, guest is 0, I don't want to show this. And if it is 1, I want to write 1 guest. And if it is more than 1, I want to write multiple. Okay, so I'll just add a to do and leave it. Now let's do this reviews part. So we are showing this. It has 4.98, so we are showing it like this, but I'm not sure when do we show it like this. One of the most loud. Okay, maybe we might need to create our own concept here. I'm not fully sure, or maybe I won't. I'll just write basic review because we will be doing something like this at the bottom anyway, so let's not get stuck here. Let's directly write these. Okay, so if there are no reviews, we'll write no reviews yet. So let's start with this. How does it look on our home page? This rating, right? This doesn't look like one. Okay. Let's copy this icon, inspect, and copy this SVG, copy element. Instead of block, let's write it as inline. Now let's do if property dot reviews dot, we do have reviews count, right? Properties should have reviews count or something like that. Yeah, reviews count. So property dot reviews count at that property dot reviews count is equals to 0. Else we will do something like this. In most cases it should not be equals to 0, so I'll use this one first, and later on I'll use no reviews yet. Where is it? No reviews yet. Span. I'm using a span because I'll set these properties different. I'll show it to you why. Okay, for this I need class similar to this one. Where is it? Font light. Because I don't want to focus on this part, right? Let's refresh. It does have reviews, that's great. So now let's do this one here, but instead of font light, let's use medium, and we'll write the average rating here, 4.67. How did we calculate the average rating earlier? Let's go to our index. Sorry, wish list, property, final rating, average final rating, rounded to 2. So let's use that. Let's refresh. Okay, at that property it does save 2.92. Font size will have to increase, so we can do that. We'll do that later, it's fine. Followed by dot, followed by the counts. Okay, so this dot looks good. Followed by the count, which is this same thing, but instead of, sorry, I could have written it directly at the property dot reviews count followed by reviews text. This one is clickable and this is not, so we might do something for that. 8 reviews, great, looks good. Let's make it a bit center, so for that I'll use flex align item center, items center or item center. No, doesn't look good. Maybe it's because of the size, so for that we can use font You want it to be consistent, right? So font base, small, medium, what are all the fonts? Tailwind. Working on front end sometimes become boring. I know if you're watching this video it might have become boring, but I would suggest you implement this on your own at this point. Font size, and if you are stuck then watch this video. Text large, text LG large. Let's try this. Looks good. Now we have to set up a margin here, so let's add class margin and 1. You can set it as margin and margin right, whatever you want. Now let's have it as clickable. So for that we want only this reviews count to be clickable, right? So we'll set up a span. Wait, what's happening? This span has started here, but this was okay. Incorrect code. And again we'll close this span here. For this is started here, ended here, and this is the first one. Okay. So in this one I'll write class. For now I'm just writing underline. Later on we will set this up as clickable also. Looks good. Maybe the text size is too much. Yes, it is too much. Large doesn't look good. Base. Instead of center, let's decrease the size of the none of these options look good. No worries. I think it's fine enough. Yeah. Okay, let's do next thing, which is divider. Will show later on when we will create this bottom view, then we will show the divider. So what's the time? 28 minutes already. It's just because of this entire thing. So yeah, but it looks good to me. I'll stop this video now, and later on we will see next what we can do. Okay, so thank you. Bye bye.